Hi guys, welcome back to Dev Astrology. In today's video, we are going to be doing the monthly reading and this is for the month of August. To begin with, I would like to showcase the key dates which are going to be coming into picture. For the month of August, you will see that Sun is in the sign of Cancer until the first half of the month, which is till August 15th. And from August 16th onwards, he will be moving to his own sign of Leo. Mercury is in Cancer until August 30th. He is retrograded but will become direct from August 11th onwards. And he is also going to be joining Sun into the sign of Leo on the last day of the month. Then you have Venus, which is placed in the sign of Gemini. It is conjunct with Jupiter there until August 19th. And from August 20th onwards, it is going to be moving into the sign of Cancer. Mars is going to continue to remain in the sign of Virgo throughout August. Jupiter is in Gemini and it is currently in the nakshatra of Ardra, which is ruled by Rahu itself. And then he is going to be moving into the Punarvasu nakshatra from August 13th onwards, which is ruled by himself. So that's a good movement coming in for Jupiter in Gemini itself. Then you have Saturn, which is in the Pisces sign in Uttara nakshatra. It's its own nakshatra. And we've also done a detailed video around the retrogression of Saturn. So it is present in a retrograded mode in the sign of Pisces. You have Rahu in Purv Bhadra of Jupiter itself in the sign of Aquarius, and then Ketu in Purv Nakshatra of Venus now, which is in the sign of Leo. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into the deep dive of the reading. Now, Libras, as you guys can see on your screen here, you have your Lagna Lord Venus, which is placed in conjunction with Jupiter in your ninth house itself. He will be transiting into the 10th house in the third half of this month from 21st to 20th of August onwards. You have Rahu placed in your fifth house, bang opposite to which is Ketu. And Ketu will become conjunct with Sun in the second half of this month, whilst Saturn is sitting retrograded in your sixth house. Mars is in the sign of Virgo in your 12th house, and you have Mercury currently in retrogression, and he will become direct from 11th of August onwards. Now let's get started from your ninth house placement itself, because your Lagna Lord and your eighth Lord is Venus placed in your ninth house. Now, Lagna Lord going into the ninth is a great thing to happen, but at the same time, Venus brings this obnoxious energy of the eighth house energy as well for you folks. So there are going to be some level of surprises, some level of challenges, turbulences, transformation, changes that you are going to encounter with respect to your own principle, moral values, your protocols, connections to your father, your mentor, gurus, professor, your bosses, superiors, senior management, your clientele. Clientele is also bosses, right? In a way, because they are the ones who are going to pay for the food that you're going to make through your own projects, your engagements, or whatnot. So all of that can result into some transformative energy as well. But at the same time, because it is Venus, your Lagna Lord, there is going to be a stupendous amount of focus from your side going into this area, or also some sort of a support luck factor coming into play with respect to all these things. Now, remember, it is your Lagna Lord which is going into the ninth. So, somewhere or the other, your energies will be involved towards these areas. And then these areas will also go through some level of transformation because of Jupiter's presence. But the good bit that you have to understand here is that eighth house is the source of unknown, unearned, unexpected income as well. And Venus, being the Daitya Guru, the demon guru, is forming a conjunction with that natural benefic Jupiter, who's placed in the ninth house and is forming a Kuber Yoga in your ninth itself. So this could result into a very prominent positive uptick in terms of your luck seeing some sort of a transformation and you deriving certain degree of gains out of this situation as well. So that's a beautiful bit to all the uneasiness, unexpected situations that could come into play. Now, what is Jupiter? Jupiter happens to be the lord of your third house and your sixth house. So your house of destiny is already seeing some level of turbulence because the third and the sixth, which is the Upchaya house's lord, is coming into your ninth house. So, of course, there are going to be certain problems, almost like penalty for your bosses as well. There could be difficulties for your boss as well during this point in time. They could not be keeping well. There could be facing obstacles, challenges. The work environment in itself could be difficult. But the good bit is that because your lung lord is there in conjunction, it'll keep you safeguarded. It is going to bring a lot of positive energy for you folks. Now, before we talk about Venus's movement into the next, let's just quickly look into the aspects of this Jupiter as well. Jupiter is giving an aspect to your Lagna, fifth, and your third, and thereby in your third house, you see multiple aspects coming in. First and foremost, you see the aspect of Venus, Lagna Lord giving an aspect to this. You are going to be motivated towards putting in the right effort. There has been a lot of busyness in your life. You've been trying to keep up with all the work, all the courage that you're trying to show in your life, not just because of Venus's aspect or Jupiter's aspect, but also Saturn's retrograded impact, Ketu's aspect, and now even Mars giving an aspect into the sign of Sagittarius in your third house. So a lot of drama happening on that front. Many of you could be taking short distance journeys, working, overtime against the initiative. Some bit of an involvement with respect to your cousins, siblings, family members could also be required. And all of it is what you have to juggle with Librans. You have to manage this. And thereby you will see the reward also trickle down. So keep patient, keep working hard, and it is going to be rewarding, especially when Venus gets into the 11th. So we'll talk about it, a month and a half later when we reach to that point. But as this continues, what you're going to see is that in the start of the month itself, Mercury, which is the lord of your ninth house, where Venus and Jupiter conjunction is happening, and the 12th lord is currently retrograde. If you've been making any kind of movements regarding your foreign travel, if you've been trying to materialize something with respect to shifting your residence, changing your place of work, changing your location, you could be facing certain degree of trouble there. Retrogression has not at all been helpful, but the good part is Mercury is sitting in a house where he gains directional strength. Now, coupled with that is Sun, which happens to be a lord of gains, though 12 places away from itself, yet he is in the 10th house where he tends to do amazingly well. Now, two of these planets in the 10th house is definitely bringing a lot of energy, impetus, focus in your karma. You're a student watching this video, you are leaving no stone unturned with respect to studies. Rahu is helping you there with expansion in the 5th house. You are a working professional. There have been challenges in your workplace. There have been difficulties that you've been facing. Yet, your energy, your effort, your resilience is going to pay off. You're a business professional. There will be certain problems. Mars is in your 12th. Yet, he is giving an aspect back to the 7th house, and the efforts coming in from your karma are going to be rewarding you. So there is a lot of good that is brewing up for you, Librans. It's just that it is not evident. And the reason for that evidence not being in place is your ninth lord Mercury is sitting retrograded as well. He also needs time. The interesting part is after the first 10 days of August, this Mercury will become direct. And everything which seems to be stuck, which doesn't seem to be materializing, things that have been revving up a lot but not delivering that acceleration, that velocity that you desire, shall come into play in the right spot of time. Then what you will notice is that from that second third of the month, which is 11th of August, all the way till the end, Mercury remains direct, and later on in the last 10 days, Venus will also become conjunct. So there is going to be a lot of sharp decision making, empathy in the way you are going to be dealing with people. Your interactions will be, coupled with a lot of knowledge, sound decision making, good acumen, and the right way of communication. So it's all about hanging in there in this difficult period and waiting it out for the later part of the month. The second half of the month is also going to be interesting because Sun is going to be forming a conjunction with Ketu in your 11th house, where Sun, being the lord of the 11th house, will be coming to its own sign. But before that, I would want to draw your attention that Mercury and Venus, when they become conjunct in the last 10 days will be giving an aspect to your fourth as well. And you will bring this level of creativity, sharpness, empathy, kindness towards your family, your home front, and your emotions as well. You are going to be able to control your emotions much better, even though Saturn remains retrograded. Now, your 11th Lord Sun will be moving into the 11th house from 16th of August onwards, where he becomes conjunct with Ketu. And I have talked about Ketu's presence in the 10th and the 11th house very clearly, guys. This is a placement that can be amazingly rewarding, but it can be terribly disappointing as well if you are just hyper focused towards the material aspect of things. Ketu doesn't ask you to become religious, but its spiritual aspect is that if you've defined your goals, targets, objectives, now focus on the minuscule part of things. Those minute details that you need to put your effort in to materialize that larger goal, that objective. And with Sun coming into play, it is only going to accelerate the possibility of you achieving what you desire, what you anticipate, what you've been planning for. However, Sun Ketu combination is a tremendous combination of spirituality. Why do I say that? Because on one side, you have Sun, which represents all your desires, and then is Ketu, which talks about detachment, alienation from all of it, separation from all of it. And the way this is going to deliver the outcome for you as Libras, where you have to work towards what you aspire without the expectation of it materializing or happening. When you least anticipate, when you least expect, that is when your 8th Lord, 9th, 8th Lord in 10th is going to be delivering the outcome for you as well. So you see how the second and the third part of the month is going to become crucial for you. The second 10 days and the third 10 days is what I'm alluding to. Now, Sun's presence in the 11th house is also going to mean that you are going to garner a lot of social respect, a lot of positive feedback from your friend circle, from your network. And some of the connections which seemed to be drying up are going to be reignited during this phase of time. It could also mean that some of you could end up meeting an old spark. People who are single, who are looking forward to get into a relationship, that possibility could also come into picture for you guys. Remember, Sun and Ketu, both of them will be giving an aspect to your 5th, where Rahu is already placed. And thereby, this is going to be a crucial period where your gains, material gains, success, fulfillment, etc., is going to be coupled with your strategy, with your creativity, with your enterprising mindset, with your entrepreneurial approach for that matter. And you will be fearless about all those things. You will be ready to take the risks that are worth. As we move further, we realize that your 7th Lord and your 2nd Lord, Mars, is currently placed in your 12th house. Now, Mars has gone 11 places away from itself and 6 places away from itself. Mars from here is giving an aspect back to your 6th house as well as your 7th house, which means that albeit for people who are in a relationship, who are in some sort of a partnership, be it a marital partnership or any formal business partnership as well, there will be certain speculative challenges that will be coming your way. Difficulties will arrive your way when you least anticipate or expect them to come. However, it will also give you the possibility of overcoming those problems, overcoming those challenges. This placement of Mars is going to bring a lot of travel, especially travel to a foreign place. Relocation of some sorts could be a possibility. Mars is the lord of the second and placed in the 12th. So you have to be very cautious with respect to your investments. But it is also highly possible that your right investment strategy could give you the right gains too. It can bring in an expansion in your wealth. Your 511 axis is any which way is going to be activated. So Mars connection with the 12th is going to further give you that insight, that impetus in that direction. But refrain from any kind of speculation, because Venus's placement is saying some bit of sudden change, turbulence could also come into picture. And that is where I would want you to keep that particular caution in mind. Now, Mars placement in the 12th house is also amazingly good with its aspect into your 6th house. Yes, Saturn in retrogression is present there, but Mars aspect is telling us one thing, that there is going to be a good Shatru Hanta Yoga into play. And this Shatru Hanta Yoga is going to promise that you are able to overcome any kind of obstacles, challenges, problems coming in your life at your work front with respect to your health, I would still want you to be cautious with respect to your health for the first 10 days, given the fact that things could be tad bit turbulent, post which Jupiter itself will be moving into the Punarvasra. So he will also bestow a lot of success for you from that regard as well. Now, guys, we've done a detailed video on Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, and Jupiter combined reading as well last week. So if you've not had a chance, I highly urge you to check out that video, because for the next 5 months, what sort of analysis you might need to keep in mind has been done for a 15-20 minute video there as well. Mars is also giving an aspect to your third house of Sagittarius. Now, this house is getting an aspect from Saturn, from Venus, from Jupiter, and from Ketu as well, along with Mars. So there is a lot happening with respect to your efforts, with respect to your karma, and some of that point in time, you could also feel as if there is an excessive drain in your energy. And this is where you will have to remain consistent, because that excessive drain will take some time for you to bear and furnish those rewards as well in life. As we move further, we see that Rahu is going to give you big ambitions as well as continue to focus towards deriving the gains. He is in trine with Jupiter as well. So somewhere or the other, activation, clever activation of the ninth house energies with respect to your superiors, bosses, client, customers, etc. is also going to be there. So you can play sharp on those regards as long as you are able to continue to pass the test of Saturn, who happens to be your fourth and the fifth lord in the sixth house in retrogression. For people who are in job, it could be a little bit of a difficult period because you might find it hard to focus at your workplace. Job situation in itself could bring some level of difficulties, some level of obstacles. But as I said before, you will have the ability to overcome those problems as well and do well. All in all, it is going to be a decent month. There are going to be some learnings that you have to go through, but if you be consistent with what you need to do, you are going to derive a lot of positive outcomes as well. Keep moving forward, Libras. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, then please smash on that like button, subscribe to Dev Astrology, and keep watching. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Mahadev.